Ariel, the host of the TimeFlies podcast, back in business. If you guys have watched previous episodes, thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you guys have listened to the previous audio podcast episodes, you guys know that the voice you're about to hear and the guy that to the left of me is a familiar face, is a familiar voice. My boy, 3 times in a row. We are off to an amazing start. Mike, what's good, my boy? Chilling. This is going to be the second time that we're going to be talking hoop. So the first time, it was a minute ago. It was maybe like a month after the season started, right? Or maybe like within the first month of the season started. So we have a lot to catch up on. Of course, we're going to start off here. We're going to start off with the Knicks, okay?
Yes.
But specifically with the Knicks, first of all, congratulations, champ. Congratulations, champ.
Yeah, champ.
NBA Cup champion. Congratulations, my boy. Yo, give me some dap, dog. Yo, we're champions, dog.
I like it.
I don't care.
Like
we're champions,
that much,
bro.
but
no, I don't care. We're champions.
Especially because you see that the same shit that happened to the Bucks and the Lakers. Luckily, we've come back off it, but I like the move of not hanging the fucking shit up because
you like it?
I like the move.
Wait. You were about to say it's been too long. What?
Since we hung up a real banner.
Yes, but yo, come on. Yo, we haven't won anything since '73. We need to put it up, bro.
I like the fact that we're not getting complacent with that shit.
Nah, we disagree, bro. We haven't tasted success, real success since '73.
Right.
This is it.
What is this though? What is the championship?
No, the real championship is the Larry O'Brien in June.
Right, like what is this tournament championship? What is it other than pocket change for the basketball players?
I get it, bro. I get it.
I like the fact that they actually beat the Spurs, who are a legitimate contender. But they're a legit team. You beat real teams to get here. But we could have just had a regular season and you just mop through competition, have a nice little winning streak there. That's cool too.
Nah,
I don't need that fucking... Because that's what the NBA and big business does it for. Generate interest, market, get you all hyped up for it. Cool. And I like the colorful courts. I know some people hate it. It's cool, but it's not anything I'm going to get hyped about.
I'm not saying throw a parade, but raising a banner, I absolutely believe we should do that. Bro, specifically for the Knicks. I'm not talking about the Lakers. The Lakers, they had the last championship was 2020. The Bucks, 2021. The Golden State Warriors, 2022, I believe. We haven't had that type of winning since 73. Not 83. Not 93. Not 2003. 73, bro. And as a New York market, as one of the bigger markets in the NBA landscape, that's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
But it's also embarrassing to hang your hat on this fucking bullshit tournament championship.
It's not hanging our hat, bro. We're just celebrating winning, bro. But listen, neither here nor there, because they didn't raise it. Okay, there's nothing we can do about it. Maybe they'll change their mind in the future. I don't know.
Right.
But I just want to say, congratulations, champ. We are champions of something.
Yeah.
I'll let it go at that. Okay, so now, aside from the NBA Cup champions, let's get right into it. So the Knicks. Okay, so I want to start you off with this. Like you said, after the NBA Cup, we actually went into a little bit of a deep dive in a bad way. And the same thing happened to the Lakers when they won the very first NBA Cup tournament. The same thing happened to the Bucks. And there's something, it really is, Jalen Brunson mentioned in an interview the other day, it happens because even though some people might not think the NBA Cup tournament is anything, for the players, you could tell that there's a little bit of a meaningful.
Yes, that's the issue, though. But yeah.
So Brunson was saying that they had a hard time transitioning from those meaningful games to just regular season games.
That's the problem. And
it makes sense. You're coming off a high, you win the championship, and then you have to go play Portland the next day. It's and it's not even a tournament game. It's just a regular season game. I'm not saying it's an excuse, but
it's the reality. It's a mentality. And that's part of my reason too, because it's completely understandable why, as the players, you'd get wrapped up in it. So you see, the only people that it truly benefits is the business people in the NBA, because it generates mid-season attention where you might not get it otherwise. They market it as this tournament as if it means something. It really doesn't mean shit. the players get into it mentally because it's like, they're competitors and it's like we're competing for a championship. They psych themselves out. And then it's like it's a fucking wet dream because the next day you're in Portland and you're playing the Trailblazers and we just beat the Spurs. That was great. And that was an exhibition game, right? That didn't count for shit. The actual game versus the Spurs.
The championship game?
The record.
Yeah, correct. It's not towards the record.
Man, fuck out of here with that. Like,
oh, man, you're breaking my heart with this.
Yeah.
But anyway, actually, you said it doesn't mean anything except for the owners. Also the players. The players get an extra 500 stacks in their check for winning that championship. So it means something to them. But yeah, so it's the third year in a row. So I think next year, if it happens to whoever wins, we're gonna have a pretty good sample size that if they go down a downfall for the next few games after the NBA Cup tournament,
they have to look at it.
Yeah, I think they should actually move it a little bit because it starts. I think like a week after the NBA season starts. I think they should start it like after Christmas. After Christmas, start the tournament, and then it goes all the way up until maybe the week before All-Star break. That's where the championship happens.
That would probably be perfect in terms of the timing of it all.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the tournament because I like the infusion of new ideas to keep players motivated. I like it. I just don't like when it starts. I think they should push it back a little bit. And maybe if they want to compete with the Super Bowl in February, obviously they're not going to win. But it's just another conversation, you know? The NBA and NFL are obviously they're butting heads. So maybe it's another thing that the NBA can look into. But since we're talking about the downfall that the Knicks had after the NBA Cup championship game, from December 19th to January 19th, a month, 17 games, 6-11. We're recording this a little bit halfway past the NBA season because traditionally halfway through the NBA season is literally All-Star break.
Yeah.
But now it's actually like around 55 games.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit over the halfway mark.
And this is a question that I posed to you too. As a Knicks fan, do you feel a little better about their chances of, say, coming out of the East? A little worse? Or kind of the same?
Since when?
In comparison to before the season started. Now, remember, before the season starts, you don't really know what the Pistons are going to do. You know they're going to be good. You don't know quite what they're going to be. You don't really think much of the Celtics. Indiana, a lot of the competition that was there, you're not really thinking of. So I posed the question to you. At this point in the season, you feel the same, a little worse, a little better? What do you think?
I feel the same.
Yeah?
I feel the same. I feel like we are right where we need to be. I should have mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I'm looking at the standings. We're third with a record of 35-20. The second place is Boston Celtics with a record of 35-19. Nobody expected Boston to be this good, but I did expect us to be a top 3 team in the East at this point. I probably would have expected Cleveland to be the number 2, but Boston's number 2 and Detroit is number 1. Their record is 40-13. And we're only 3 games back from the number 1. We're a game and a half back from number 2. So I remember doing that pod with you, and all I just wanted to make sure that we're going to be one of the top 4 seeds. I just want that home court advantage. If we're a 3rd seed, if we're a 4th seed, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Sure.
So right now, being the 3rd seed, I think we're okay. I think we're where we need to be. But if you want me to keep it a buck with you, that Detroit is looking scary, bro.
Yo, so here's my thing, right?
Talk to me.
I was thinking about that while I was driving because had it been, I'd say, about a week, this is going to seem so fucking stupid, but this is, I don't know, this is just how my brain works. Week and a half ago, you would have asked me that question. I would have said I feel a little worse because, the one thing that the Knicks have seemed to really struggle with when they come up against teams like the Pistons, to be frank, and those are my New York Knicks, they look soft. And that counts for something, especially when the Pistons are this good and they match you on kind of a skill level and they're tougher than you. I worry about a 7-game series. Something as little as an addition of a Jose Alvarado changes it a little bit for me. Because players like that, obviously, there's the There's the GT Alvarado. That
Right.
he's got it going on in his own right. But what I like is the energy that he brings to the team. And I think it's an energy that we haven't had since Hartenstein and Dante DiVincenzo, where it's someone who's gonna square up. It's because think about the brawl with the Hornets and the Pistons.
Right. Yeah.
If that would have went down with the Knicks and the Pistons, how do you think that would have looked? Like who would have been our Miles Bridges to square up? Who do we have at this point that would have done that? Maybe Josh Hart. I don't really know, but Josh Hart might have been in street clothes that day. I don't really know. I think Jose gives a different identity to the team, and he plays tough. He plays with that grit. He's not only going to get in your face if it goes down, but he plays with that grit. And players like that, they count a lot for the intangibles. They count a lot for even the shit that doesn't show up on the scoreboard. And you see, at least I see, that his team already has his back. Like, they fuck with Jose Alvarado.
Absolutely.
He's happy to be there. They fuck with him. You see something like that, I think it does good for the team's morale, the overall chemistry. It might bring the toughness out of the other players that have it there, but needed to, another player to kind of channel it. So, with all that said, I will say I'm back to feeling maybe about at the same that I did before the season started. But I definitely was going through it a little bit before because the Pistons looking real fucking good. Yeah. I didn't expect the Celtics. I expected the Celtics to be in it. There's no world where I said, the Celtics are not going to be a playoff team, even without Jason Tatum. I think that they still have depth. They still got this fucking guy named Jaylen Brown there that, So, it works, but I didn't expect the Celtics to be what they are currently.
Nobody did.
The Cavs, I don't give a fuck about, and everyone's like, they're right on the Knicks' heels. And I know, and listen, I see James Harden, James Harden there, and they're playing, and it's like, they talk about regular season stars. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers and the James Harden, and they're all married into one.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm not as worried about the Cleveland Cavaliers. But when we talk about the league as a whole, outside of the Knicks, I'm going to tell you why we should keep an eye on them. Okay. But going back to the Knicks, as far as Jose Alvarado, Jose Alvarado, basically, he's just a pest. He's going to be our version of TJ McConnell is to the Pacers. TJ McConnell is, if any team could pick him up, you're going to get somebody that's just always in your grill, just being annoying. And it's just annoying. 100%. Last year in the playoffs, it's like, he was one of the main reasons why they killed us because he was always able, even though he's like 6 feet nothing, he's always able to get 2 feet inside of the paint and have that little mid-range and always kill us. So he's an amazing player. I wish we had him. But Jose Alvarado, I feel like can do that for us. And he's like you said, he's going to bring that energy up. But speaking of Jose Alvarado and just the trades, one thing that I'm actually disappointed in Gershon Yabusele, the big man that we traded to Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed, man, because first of all, I don't know why it didn't work. I don't know if it was more his attitude or I didn't know if it was Mike Brown not giving him an opportunity. I really don't know, and based off of everything that I saw, I didn't really get a clear-cut answer from the media. The reason why I was so high on Yabusele is because I'm going to say this again. If you go watch the gold medal game of the 2024 Olympic game, he was looking like the best basketball player since France has ever produced. Yeah. He had his hand in a little bit of everything. Defense, he dunked on LeBron. He was creating plays for others. And at that point, he played for the Celtics, and then I think he got waived, and then he went to go play in Europe. So people actually forgot about him. And then that Olympic run made him go back to the NBA. Yeah. The 76ers picked him up. Mm-hmm. That was last season, and then the Knicks picked him up last summer. I'm so disappointed, man, in that situation. I just wish Yabusele was able to show a little bit more because now everybody is probably looking at him like, yo, he's nothing. He went to Chicago. But he could ball, man. Yeah. If he was able to make an impact with us, I think it could really help us out. But, again, neither here nor there. He's Chicago. I wish the best for you. I think it's going to come down to Detroit and Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Hopefully that's where it is. But I did want to piggyback off of what you said. You mentioned the brawl between Detroit and Charlotte. When I was watching the highlights of that fight, the number one thing that came in my mind was beef stew and it was.
I hate that motherfucker.
It was an aha. It was kind of an aha moment. If we see them in the playoffs, we need someone to just agitate him.
Exactly.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And what people, ESPN and all these talking head shows, they're not mentioning that Beef Stew, he didn't play after game 1 last year.
I remember it.
That's a major reason why we won. Game 1, Detroit, you could have argued that they should have beat us in game 1.
Yeah.
Beef Stew played in that game.
Yeah.
After that, they didn't play. We go on to win in 6. And aside from Beef Stew, bro, Jalen Duren, Holland, Jenkins, Cunningham, like,
dogs.
And Jaden Ivey, who they traded to Chicago, but before they traded him to Chicago, he was finally getting back into the rhythm off that torn ACL. Yo, they had dogs, bro. And now another trade that they made is they added Kevin Herter, who's a white boy, and he's mainly known for shooting, and I think he's shooting like 40% from the floor.
Yeah.
I'll look it up in a little bit to be exact. But they added really good pieces to Detroit, and specifically with shooting. They have Duncan Robinson, who's known as a good shooter. Kevin Herter, they traded for him. So now they're going to be able to put Cade. They're going to be able to make Cade make plays, and it's going to be for wide open 3-point, not wide open, but for good 3-point shooters. The 2 games that we played against them so far, they've blown us out by I think 30 or 40.
Yeah, it's been
it's been pretty bad.
And I think that this is like another iteration of like the Bad Boys Pistons style that
100%.
originates with like the Isaiah and Bill Laimbeer and then transfers to the Ben Wallace. I think that this is the latest iteration of it, but that's one thing that I don't like. It happened to us last year with the Knicks and the Celtics, where it seemed like the Knicks played well during the regular season anytime they weren't going against their main competition in the East. Like last year, I remember the same shit with the Celtics. They would get fucking smacked the fuck up by the Celtics, and that's the games that you want to see them prove something, because at that point you're thinking, these are the 2 teams that they're going to meet if it comes down.
Yeah.
Didn't shake out that way, but that's what you thought. It's the same shit with the Pistons, and it's like they're beating them handily, like beating the shit out of them. It's not close, it's not competitive. The 2 games, and I think they've both been Friday night games that the whole fucking country can watch. And they just beat the fucking dog shit out of us, man. And I think it has a lot to do with the tough. There's an effect that Pistons team has on the Knicks mentally, where they are all dogs, and the Knicks need a little more of that in them. Right?
Yeah. No, absolutely, I agree with you. But going back to the whole Beef Stew, like, we see that he's a loose cannon.
Yes.
Like, if you agitate him, he friggin' came off the bench, off the brawl with the Hornets.
Shirt on and everything.
Yeah, he had like hot packs on. He was not in the game. He literally came off the bench and he ran all the way to midcourt. And that's just something for the Knicks organization. Like, yo, if I'm serious, like, if the series is tied 2-2, like, yo, maybe Tyler Cole, like, yo, we need you just to, like, not be dirty, but just irritate him. Get him to the point where he's gonna blow up, and then boom, one main player from the rotation is out. It might help us out a little bit. Before I move on, I did want to give you, because I said Kevin Herter was playing his shooting percentages. Yeah. So for the season, from the field, 45%.
Yeah, bro.
4 field goals, averaging 4 field goals made on 9 field goals attempted. Yeah. 45%. 3-point shot, it could be a little better. It's not great. He's averaging 1.5 field goals made on 5 3-point attempts, which equates to 30%. So 3-point shot, it could definitely be a little better, but that's Kevin Herter's stats.
Imagine if Malik Beasley was still in the mix too. I mean, I always consider, and I really saw it in the playoffs, but I considered him to be a pretty, foundational piece of that run that they had last year. It wasn't necessarily. I always saw Durant, Cade, and obviously I saw Beef Stew as kind of
the core.
Yeah, the core of it for 3 different reasons, but. Malik Beasley was an outlier who I always saw when it came to those, it was coming down to the wire. He could throw up a 3. He used to, in that playoff run, he was doing his fucking thing.
The playoff run last year and the entire season last year, he had a really good breakout year with the Detroit Pistons. Sorry, man. Hopefully you're able to figure out that whole betting situation.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, hopefully you're not a part of it. Okay, That's one of the competition, one of the teams that we're going to be competitive with going down the season and into the playoffs. But a little bit more specifically with the Knicks, I want to pick your brain about a particular player.
Okay.
Tell me your thoughts. I have the stats here for Cat.
Yeah.
Just tell me what you've seen, what if you like, or something that you want to see him improve on. Just tell me your thoughts about Cat this year.
Because the thing is, I don't want to come off like... Because obviously the running consensus is Cat is not the guy we need him to be. And he's not. That's... I think, realistically, he's not who we need him to be. You lack defensively, but that's no secret.
Facts.
We need you to be the powerhouse that you're capable of being, or that we think, at this point, we think you're capable of being offensively. Rebounding, still there, but I mean, okay, that's we have Mitchell Robinson for that too,
But I do want to show him a little love about rebounding.
Rebounding, he's kind of puts up those numbers.
Because, yes, this season has been a little bit of an up and down season for Cat. But the one thing that I will give him is consistently, when he's not having his usual offensive game, he is impacting the game in another area, and that area this year specifically is the rebounding. I think he had a couple games back to back where he had like 20 plus rebounds.
Yeah. No.
So I do want to give him respect on that tip.
Absolutely.
So for the season right now, he's averaging 20 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, and as far as the field goal numbers, he is averaging 6.5 field goals made on 14 field goals attempted, which equates to 46.6%. 3-pointers, 1.6 3-pointers made on 4.5 3-points attempted, which equates to 35%. Cat is known as a really good big man shooter.
Yeah.
But it's just this season has been up and down, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I don't know if it's him. I don't know if it's... I don't think at this point, I don't think we can say that he needs more time in the system. Because it's not that.
But and even breaking it down like that, like it's a nice stat line.
Yeah.
But to your point though, I don't know why it doesn't feel like he's making the impact on the game like he's capable of. I don't know if I don't think it's a system thing. I think to your point, he has had enough time, but you come to find things out way later, way past the time that there was, something going on behind. Who knows? There could be some weird shit going on with him and Mike. I don't really know. I can't really put my finger on it, but it's not a bad stat line. I think on the boards, cool. It doesn't feel like he's having the impact that he's capable of on the game, and I don't know what it is. I don't.
Yeah, no. I'm not sure. I don't know, man. But like, if you've been paying attention to Cat, his career, like this is kind of who he is.
I know. It's like his MO.
When he looks good, he looks really good. When he looks mid, he looks mid, and he can look bad too. I don't know. And I think the general consensus, because we have these conversations, you and I have these conversations with my brother. Between me and you, and between my brother and I, we say the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Cat is not the guy that's gonna be the one to take us over the hump.
Right.
He's the person that maybe he could get us there, but I don't think we can win a championship with him.
Do you think he battles with the fact that it's clearly Jalen Brunson's team, or you not really?
I would like to say no. I would like to say no, but maybe behind closed doors, maybe he's a little salty. The way he presents himself, he's doing a good job. Is like
same.
Like,
I do too. I like when I see him speak. I like him. Just
Yeah.
He seems like he's a rational guy, but
Just looking at the last few games, the last 6 games. So yesterday, we played against the Philadelphia 76ers. We absolutely blew them the hell out, which was surprising.
And he had like 11 boards last night, right?
Yeah. So he had 21 points. He had 11 rebounds. 8 field goals made on 13 field goals attempted, 61%. He only took 1 3-pointer, and he made that, so obviously 100%. The game prior to that, where we lost to the Indiana Pacers, that's another.
He had those free throws at the last second to send us into overtime.
Facts, but that's
and then
another.
We collapsed in overtime.
Literally
collapsed. The bottom just came out.
We literally didn't make a bucket until the last minute of overtime.
Ridiculous.
But as far as his line for that game, 22 points, 14 rebounds, 8 of 17 from the floor, 47%, 1 of 6 from 3-point line, not great, 16%. That game is that as a whole for the Knicks, not just Cat, but that loss against Indiana 2 nights ago is absolutely maddening.
Yeah.
Because like, how are we losing? They're literally the worst team in the East, right?
Yeah. No,
how are we losing to the last place team in the East?
And it's the Pacers, like of all. And I know if you're not a seasoned Knicks fan, you won't understand. Like on top of them being the worst team in the East, it's the fucking Indiana Pacers, so it's loaded.
Oh, you're talking about like the rivalry from back in the day.
Yeah, forever, bro.
Yeah, and then we go into Philly yesterday and we blow them out by 40. Like I just don't understand that.
But see, that's okay.
Talk to me.
That's what concerns me about this fucking team.
Yeah.
Just, like Cat is a microcosm of that inconsistency.
Right.
But like that's why you can't stand on it with the Knicks, because you get that. I watched them blow out fucking the Sixers by what was it, like literally 49 points? It was fucking ridiculous,
yeah.
right? Like and it doesn't make me feel like, oh yeah, this is it, because you know they could go fucking wherever on Friday,
Sacramento, and we lose.
But that's it. So this team doesn't make sense sometimes. Like they do shit like they lose and look bad against the Pacers. And then they blow the Sixers out by 50, who, okay, not the greatest rendition of a Sixers team, but not a bad Sixers team at all. But
absolutely.
I know in our other pod about this, and even our personal conversations, we talk about that backcourt with Maxey and Edgecombe, and I know Embiid wasn't playing, and Embiid's been on some shit lately too.
We'll talk about that.
So that's not a team to sneeze over. You blow them out by 50 points, but you do shit like lose to the fucking Pacers, lose to the Kings. Like it just there doesn't seem to be a standard that they're playing to, like something you could really stamp and say, nah, this is our brand of basketball. This is what the fuck we do. Like
I 100% agree with you. It's just weird though, because the Pacers game, it's not like they stopped. It's not like they weren't trying. They were trying, but the Pacers, maybe the Pacers just had a really good night. I don't know.
But this is the thing though, is I know, and I could be off base, but just in my observations, in games that they lose to less than reputable opponents, or games that they really get the shit kicked out of them by teams like the Pistons, it seems like, to your point, they're trying, but nothing's going down for them. Like the offense is not clicking, and in key moments when they do have opportunities, like I notice a lot of times they'll have these points where, okay, they get, they make a couple of turnovers on the opposition side. They have a couple of opportunities. They don't capitalize on it. Nothing goes down for them. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It makes me a little weary, a little shaky.
And then the game prior to the Pacer game was Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. We go into Boston
Celtics,
and we blow them out
after getting destroyed by the fucking Pistons on Friday.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, what the fuck is that?
A really big seesaw.
What the fuck is that?
Literally the last 4 games. It goes from getting blown out to blowing out Boston to losing to Indiana to blowing out Philadelphia. That's just a roller coaster of emotions.
That's like a toxic human being in a basketball team.
It's a toxic relationship, though. It's a toxic relationship. But just I do just want to close out Cat's play as of late. So then prior to the Indiana game was the Boston game that we just mentioned. This game, 11 points, 10 rebounds, 3 of 9 from the floor, 33%, and 0 of 2 from 3-point line. So 11 points and 10 rebounds, like it's a really, really soft double-double. The game prior to that, 24 points, 12 rebounds. That was against the Denver Nuggets. Oh, that was a 2 overtime game. 24 and 12, 9 of 13 from the floor, 70%, 2 of 6 from 3-point line, 33%. The game prior to that, which was against the Washington Wizards, they're the Wizards, so whatever, but 19 points, 15 rebounds, 7 of 16 from the floor, 44%, 1 of 4 from 3-point line, 25%. And then the game prior to that was when the Lakers were in town. 11 points, 13 rebounds, 5 of 11 from the floor, 45%, and 0 of 1 from 3-point line. So I do like the fact that he's able to affect the game in another area, and that's rebounding right now. But as far as offensively, there is no doubt that we're going to need him to be Jalen Brunson's sidekick in the playoffs. Do I think he's up for it? Do I think he can do it? Absolutely. He actually showed us he could do that in certain times last year in the playoffs.
Game 3 against the Pacers.
Absolutely. But this season, Did you see what James Dolan, when he went on the radio about a month ago? He went on the radio about a month ago with some, I don't know if it was MSG radio station or whatever. He's a little illogical because he's an owner. He probably doesn't watch the rest of the NBA. He's just making billions of dollars.
We can conveniently forget how he fucked that franchise for a long time before Worldwide West and we all got on board. But yeah.
Facts. During this interview, though, he kind of put us in a bad spot because he said that we should win the championship. And no, I don't think we should win. But it's an interesting conversation because if we don't make it to the finals and we lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, is that a failure to you?
Yep.
It is.
We had that conversation. Yeah,
no, we did.
It wasn't on the pod though.
No, I think it was.
Was it?
I
think if you get to the Eastern Conference Finals again and you drizzle out, that means you're stagnant. You failed at the same spot you failed at last year.
So if we lose in 6 or we lose in 7 to Detroit,
it doesn't matter.
To any team,
it doesn't matter. If you don't make it past,
it's a lot of pressure, bro.
Where you made it last year, you're stagnant. You're not,
But Detroit is better, bro. They're better. They're a better team than us.
Yeah, but the reality of it is, then what are you gonna do to get over that hump? What are you gonna do to get past that?
Well, thank you for bringing this up. Because we're maybe about a week after the trade deadline. If what happens in the playoffs is us losing in game 6 or 7, the player that everyone that has been associated with the Knicks is Giannis. If we lose, they're going after Giannis. It's a fact. Because like you said, if we lose in 6 or 7, we're stagnant.
Right, and
they're gonna blow it up.
And see, this is how I remember us having the personal conversation about this. Yeah. That's why I was not convinced that they were going to ever go for Giannis at this point of the season, because I think they wanted to test if it was going to happen with this group of guys. I don't think they wanted to take the risk of.
I'm so glad they did that.
I'm glad too. If you're not going to do, and this is unrealistic, but from my perspective, if it wasn't as simple as a 1-to-1 trade, Cat for Giannis, something like that, it just wasn't worth kind of stripping some of the depth that we've gone so hard to build up, because that was the whole gripe last year. This team's got no fucking depth. They play their 5 starters fucking 45 minutes a game. There's no chemistry coming off the bench because they never get time to play. So I'm glad they didn't go after Giannis. I do think that if they don't make it, they are going to go gun-ho for Giannis, which makes me nervous because I'm wondering, okay, so who are you going to give up? But, I mean, I don't know. I just saw that they, or at least they have plans on signing the kid from the Spurs.
Yeah, Jeremy Sohan, they did sign him.
They did sign him?
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that works out. But,
yeah.
But yeah, just to get back to your point, like, so what does that Giannis trade look like if we don't make it past the Pistons? So
from what I saw from all the reports, the trade was Cat, Deuce. It was or one of the two between OG and Mikal. It was one of those two.
You can't give up OG and.
What if it was Mikal? What if it was Deuce, Cat, Mikal, and picks? I don't know how many picks. I think it's like 2 first-round picks. I'm still not doing that.
I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not because you're once again. It feels like you're almost barring against your future, and then you get Giannis.
Listen, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because me personally, I want my best player. I've said this a million times. I want my best player on my team. If I own the team, I want him to have a specific skill. What is Giannis' specific skill? He is not a consistent jump shooter. Even though he's gotten better at that, I respect you for working on your craft. You gotten better at your jump shot, okay, but is that are you elite at that skill? No. Ball handling, no. Post work, no. Footwork, no. Everything that I'm pointing at you is not a specific skill. The other best players in the league, Luka, shooting, SGA, footwork, Jokic, playmaking. Like, there's so many things that I can
point directly to.
Exactly, and Giannis is like, not to take anything away from him, but like, you became one of the better players off of brute force. That's not a skill. Yeah. That's literally just you being dominant, more dominant than other players. And again, respect you for doing that and making a career out of it, but
yeah,
there's certain if you have a player like Giannis, it's I think it's a little bit more difficult to build around him.
It disrupts the chemistry in my mind too. I don't like it.
Let's say if we lose in 6 or 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, you wouldn't make a trade for Giannis, so you would run it back, or would you look into giving up Cat?
I would see what we can get for Cat and how it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I don't think Giannis is the move. I just don't. It does, and I know it sounds crazy. I just don't think Giannis is the move for exactly the points that you mentioned. I think that it could potentially disrupt the chemistry of the team, which, even though it has been a little inconsistent, it looks like, we are garnering up some real true chemistry and camaraderie with this team. But Giannis, it just doesn't feel right. I think you shop Cat and see what you can get. I think they need to stop putting OG's name in this shit. Truthfully, my personal perspective, OG is second on the list of made men in this team. You can't touch this guy. Brunson is the obvious one.
Landry Shamet being number 1.
Yeah, Landry Shamet too. Yeah, but I think OG is right up there. Probably the second guy. You just leave him be.
So you got Brunson number 1 and you got OG number 2. I'm with it.
Yeah,
I'm 100% with it. I'm pulling up Jalen Brunson's stats for the season because I want to see what it's looking like. But to round out the whole Giannis conversation, we're forgetting one of the biggest reasons why we shouldn't trade for him. He's had 4 calf injuries in the last 15 months, dog.
Right. That's another thing too, and even though the last one was a little shaky, like he self-diagnosed almost to fuck this team. I don't really know what happened there, but yeah, we don't need that.
Ever since he won the chip in 21, I believe. The year after that, I believe that was the Jimmy Butler going crazy in the first round. I think that was that year. I could be wrong, but whatever. First year, the first year after winning the championship, he had a weird back situation because he landed on his back really bad and he was dealing with that, so he couldn't play at full strength. And then the year after that, I think is when they made the Dame trade. And then that year, Giannis had a calf strain a week prior to the playoffs starting, but when the playoffs started, Dame went down with a calf strain.
Yes, I remember that.
And then the year after that is when Dame tore his Achilles. There's one season that I'm missing there. But basically what I'm trying to say is that the last few years since winning the NBA championship, Giannis has had some injuries. And is it because of the way he plays, or is it just because he's getting older in age? Either way, you have to take that into account. And he's early 30s.
He's born in 94, so he's
31 to 32. Yeah. So it's he's not a I was gonna say fresh puppy, but that's not the right word.
Yeah, something like a spring chicken.
There you go. He's not a spring chicken, dog. But with calf strains, what it's been looking like for the last few seasons is a calf strain is an indicator with something wrong with the Achilles.
Not good.
Yeah.
Imagine that. You trade for him and then he fucking tears it.
Absolutely. Look at KD when he tore his Achilles. A couple of weeks prior, it was a calf strain. Tyrese Halliburton, it was a calf strain before he popped his Achilles in Game 7 of the Finals.
Shit.
And with Giannis, it's 4 calf strains within the last 15 months, bro.
It seems inevitable.
Even before all these injuries, I'm talking 2021. I'm still not doing that trade because I'm just not a huge Giannis fan. But now on top of that, with these injuries, no, I'm not doing it, bro. I'm not doing it. Going to Jalen Brunson and going to the captain. This season, he is averaging 27 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. He is averaging 9.6 field goals made on 20 field goals attempted, which equates to 47%. He is averaging 3 3-pointers made on 8 3-points attempted, which is 37.5%. I mean, the only thing with Jalen Brunson is he has moments where he has these just really bad turnovers. And a couple of them happened last year in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers. It's almost like what I'm going to equate it to is Steph Curry. Steph Curry has had some of the most horrible turnovers and playoff intensity moments. And I don't know what it is. He might be a little bit too loosey-goosey. And I'm not saying that's what Jalen Brunson is. He's not loosey-goosey with the ball. But it's just he just has these moments where it's yo, why are you turning it over here?
Yeah.
Like, just be strong with the ball. And that's literally my only knock on him. Hopefully it doesn't happen in this playoffs. But that's something that I have seen of him, and I don't want him to repeat that. But other than that, Jalen Brunson has been the best player, in my opinion, since Patrick Ewing. The best Knicks player.
Nick, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also that conversation as far as like just his size at the point guard spot. He has trouble with people that are bigger and more athletic than him. Cade Cunningham is like 6'6", 6'7". He's athletic. They're not going to be guarding each other, but there will be moments where they're going to guard each other in the playoffs.
Pick them up or something.
Yeah. So it's just a little difficult. Go ahead.
I also heard another stat this morning actually on Rothenberg and DiPietro, ESPN Radio, where it suggested that the more field goals Jalen Brunson attempts, I forget the exact stat, I really should have had it on hand, but basically their record is a lot better when Jalen Brunson is taking less field goal attempts. So he's shooting, and I know a lot of people love to, I haven't heard it as much lately, but the claims of being like a ball hog or holding onto the ball too much. But that was something that I heard, and I thought about it. I'd have to do a little more looking into it, but I heard that and I was like, that's interesting. I forget what the exact record is, but the gist of it all was the more field goal attempts that Jalen Brunson has, the worse the Knicks record is. So, I don't know.
As far as Jalen Brunson being a ball hog or a ball stopper, I could see that, but I don't think it's as bad. Like, Melo was bad. Melo
was like obvious.
Yeah, it was really bad, even though I think Melo to me is one of the most underrated offensive players, but 100%, there's no argument. He's a ball stopper. Yeah. He gets the ball in the mid post, he turns around, 3 jab steps, pump fake, he drives by you or he shoots it. That's like 7 seconds.
He's an animal, bro.
He's an animal, but it's just like he's a bit of a ball stopper. So yeah. I don't think Jalen Brunson is to that level.
I don't think so either.
But I could definitely see that. Landry Shamet, I definitely just want to highlight him a little bit because Landry Shamet to me is kind of on the Josh Hart level as far as he's a little bit better of a shooter than Josh Hart. But Josh Hart, I feel like, always makes the shot when we need him to make a shot.
It's true.
Like,
it's true.
I specifically, it was 2 years ago in the first round, I think, against the Philadelphia 76ers. Yep. I think it was in Game 6 where we eliminated them in Philly. Josh Hart at the top of the key. We needed it, and he hit it. And it's time and time again, he comes up. And I think Landry Shamet, to me, that he's kind of in that same vein.
Like, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Tibbs hiring. I felt like maybe he deserved another year. There's a lot of different opinions. But when I look at certain things, like the fact that barely knew it was Shamet before when Tibbs was there, because Tibbs wasn't really giving him much burn. And
he also messed up his shoulder, too.
And he fucked it up a little bit this year, too. But, I mean, man, he's another guy. He is low-key like a low-key made man in, like, bench territory. We kind of, I like when he comes in the game,
And the reason why we made the move for Jose is because Deuce is he's going to be out for a little bit. He had like some abdomen muscle surgery. I think I said this in the previous pod, but like I'm so impressed with Deuce's development. From like the first time I saw him, like he was timid. It looked like he was playing to not make a mistake, and I hate seeing that in players. But like I think this is like his 4th year with us.
He's got a swag to him.
Swag, the confidence. Like he looks like he's looking just to make plays and be aggressive and like not being timid about it. And I love that for him. Hopefully he's able to come back and help us out in the playoffs. But that's a little bit of a loss. But we picked up Jose for that. Jordan Clarkson, I said this in the first pod. I'm a little weary of him. And he's been a little bit out of the rotation, which I'm a little surprised. But that's probably because of defensive. Mike Brown wants more defensive attention.
Yeah.
The first game out of the All-Star break, do you know who we played?
No.
Detroit.
Well, good.
We're home. February 19th, we're home against Detroit.
They need to fucking...
What, if we lose, that'll be like another wake-up call?
Bro, it's just like... I gotta see something. When they play fucking the Pistons.
So the first 5 games, we got Detroit, Houston, Chicago, Cleveland, and Milwaukee. Those are the first 5 games. So the Cleveland and James Harden thing. Okay, so James Harden, obviously regular season player, but in the playoffs he doesn't come up big. But the reason why we have to keep an eye on it is because now with Donovan Mitchell in the previous pod, I said that for me, he's a little bit in the James Harden-esque caliber type of player. But the only difference between them two is that Donovan Mitchell, he shows up. Like, he's had 40, 50-point games in the playoffs. James Harden, he fucking disappears. So what I'm saying is that James Harden, like, he's gonna have somebody that, like, Donovan Mitchell will show up in the playoffs. And as much as I'm not a big fan of Donovan Mitchell because he hasn't done a lot of winning, this could be it for James Harden. I'm not gonna put my money on it, but and then the surrounding pieces around them, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, obviously, who's gonna be the future piece moving forward. I remember telling you about some kid. His last name is Tomlin.
Mm-hmm. I watched him like right after.
I think Daquan is his first name, whatever. But he's a dog. He's a dog. And again, Sam Merrill, the white boy shooter, Dean Wade, the other white boy shooter. Like, no, they're having good regular seasons, but they're gonna, like I said in the first episode, they're gonna tuck their dicks between their legs. Yep. And they're gonna be scared at the moment.
I'll believe you when they make it out of the first round.
It could happen. It could happen, and I think they've had 3 games since the trade went down. They beat Denver. They just beat Washington yesterday, and I forgot the third game, but they're 3-0.
If the playoffs started today with the rankings, who would they play in the first round?
So Cleveland's in 4th. That'll be the 5th spot. Toronto. Cleveland is 34-21. Toronto is 32-23. Toronto is 2 games back of the 4th spot. Cleveland should win that series if it started today. Cleveland should win that series. I wrote down some things on my phone that we could just like breeze by, but these are things that have happened since our first episode talking about basketball. Okay. So the first note that I got the Spurs. They beat OKC Thunder 3 times in a row. They beat them December 13th. December 23rd, and they beat them on Christmas.
They had their number, man.
And then OKC beat the Spurs on January 13th. So out of those 4 games, San Antonio beat them 3 times, and they beat them 3 times in a row. And
well, you've been saying that they can compete. They're about it. So
yeah, but I'm gonna take it a step further.
Okay.
I'm gonna put myself out there. Spurs are winning the chip this year.
Okay. So I'm assuming they would beat the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals.
Their second place, 38-16. Thunder 42-14.
Yeah, so they're right there now.
They're only 3 games back from the number 1 spot.
Where do you think? Because you are the one, you have your basketball expertise. So what do you think gives the Spurs the edge over the Thunder?
So the reason why I'm saying that is because from what I've been seeing from OKC, when we did that episode, the first one, we actually went through the Thunder's opening season schedule.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, they were like 20-1 or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. But when we went through it, it was a little fugazi. But what I'm seeing from the Thunder is there's something to be said about a defending team, a team that won a championship. And I just don't think they're up for it. I don't think they're up for it right now. And then on top of that, there seems to be some sort of like injury. Jalen Williams, he pulled his hamstring for the second time within the last 2 weeks. SGA has an abdominal injury, I believe. He's sitting out for a while. AJ Mitchell, who's been a revelation, he's out with an injury. I forgot what the injury was, but he's out for a while. But as far as like what I'm seeing from them, I just don't like I don't like how they're just like going about their defending the championship season. They're not playing bad, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
I think it speaks to a bigger problem in the NBA, and we might have touched on this the last time, but like a lot of these teams don't take the regular season serious.
I mean, but would you for 82 games, bro?
I'm a baseball fan. 162 fucking games. So 82. I don't really understand the mindset of, you know, kind of taking it easy during the regular season, but teams do this. So, I mean, even the fact that you just named the players that they're down, and I don't recall exactly how long SGA's been out, but they're still winning even without these guys like that. You know, you got guys like Caruso, you got pieces there that.
And they just traded for Jared McCain.
Yes.
From Philly. And they Jared McCain. He was actually going to be the rookie of the year, but then he went down with his knee injury, so he missed the rest of the season. And then when Philly traded him to OKC, he was literally, it looked like he was starting to get back on track. So they traded him to OKC. I'm guessing he's going to be a rotational player for them, coming down the wire into the playoffs. But yeah, man, that's what I think. Go ahead.
I saw the owner of the Sixers. What's his name? Dan. What's it?
The GM is Daryl Morey.
Daryl Morey. Talking about. We sold high with. Yo, he's always talking shit. Like.
Yeah, no, he be saying some wild shit.
He's off the rip there. But somebody out there who's crafty with the YouTube, please put together a zest-off between Jared McCain and Cat, just so we can see who.
Facts. Big zesty. Jesus Christ. Of course, like, I could be wrong. The OKC Thunder, they could repeat, but I really think San Antonio, I really think they're gonna take it, bro. And okay, let me not say I really think, because I'm not 100% confident in my choice, but I'm gonna go on a limb, and I just have a feeling that they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I do have a feeling they're gonna do it. Victor Wembanyama, like, he cares about it. He cares about the trajectory that he's on. But if you look at the NBA history, he hasn't even played in a playoff game. So the first time he's in playoffs,
got to get that beating first.
Yeah, 100%. So it might be kind of a hot take, but I mean, we'll do a pod after the playoffs, after the championship. We'll see where everybody lies. But that's okay. So that's one thing. Something else I got. Joker went out with a hyperextension of his knee on December 29th versus the Heat, and then he literally just made his debut maybe like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So he was out for a while. But what's interesting about that little note is that the Nuggets were actually playing really well without him.
Jamal Murray's been fucking balling, bro.
Murray finally got his first All-Star nod, even though the All-Star is a little different this year, but he got his first nod. Aaron Gordon was out with a hamstring injury for a while as well. So, like, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson was out with an injury as well.
Cam Johnson was out.
So, like, they were able to maintain the ship while Jokic was out. So I was impressed.
The little white guy's name.
Braun? Christian Braun?
Yeah.
Christian Braun, but he was out with an injury too. I'm forgetting all these injuries. That's crazy. I'm trying to pull up their standings right now. Right now they're in third place, 35-20, and they're 6.5 games back from number one. Okay, so something else I had. Kevin Durant passed Dirk Nowitzki for 6th all-time in scoring. Yeah. That was January 18th versus the Pelicans, and he dropped 18 points. So now he's number 6. And Dirk is number 7. Kevin Durant is just another example of just being consistent. Yep. The Houston Rockets, they're in 4th place right now with a record of 33-20. They are 7.5 games back from number 1, but they're only 1 game back from number 3. Steven Adams got injured. Yeah. Ankle, I believe it was, or knee, one of those two. He's gonna be out for the rest of the season. But it's going to be interesting. Clint Capella is a really nice insurance to have. Yeah. Just a solid veteran who knows what to do. But, I don't know. Houston, they're just, to me, they're like Minnesota. They're just existing right now.
Yeah. You know what the thing is? I think when we had the original pod, Houston Rockets were like my team to watch coming out of the West.
They still are.
And, I mean, but it seems like with that power tussle going on with the Spurs and the Thunder, and then you have the Nuggets playing that well without Joker. Yeah, it's a tough.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough
to crack.
It's gonna be tough. Right now, if the playoffs started today, they're playing the 5th seed, which the Minnesota Timberwolves, 34-22 their record right now, and
Julius. I know it's not your man, but Julius Randle's been going a little bit crazy lately.
He's cool.
Yeah, he's been going a little bit crazy lately.
Was it a 40 ball his last game that he had?
Well, yeah, the last game, but just overall, like even in Anthony Edwards' absence, like he's been shouldering that shit, bro.
I saw that he had like a windmill the other night, and I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
It was just not even out of character for him, but it was just,
kind of out of character.
It was, right?
Yeah.
This is not really his
Not
style.
his MO, but
I'm trying. Let me pull up Julius Randle's numbers right now, because since you want a dick ride. Julius Randle and Cat, they have a little bit of the similarity where they just have a lot of extra movement. I don't like when they go for a layup, they just do a lot of like elbow swinging and leg kicking. I fucking hate that, yo.
You just hate Julius Randle.
I don't hate him, bro. It's just like.
No, you hate him.
I don't hate him. I just dislike his game.
He's a Laker.
22 points, 7 rebounds, 5.5 assists. He's averaging 7.8 field goals made on 16 field goals attempted, which is 49.2%. 1.6 3-pointers made on 4.8 3-pointers attempted, 32.5%. And it was like a 40 game. Yeah, 41 against Portland. 41-7. He had 18-12 prior to that. He had 17-8 prior to that. 24-8, 17-4, 19-8. I just wish he was a little bit more of a consistent jump shooter, and I can't pinpoint why I don't like his game. Besides the whole flailing and all that shit. But yeah, going back to Houston, there was a little bit of moment in time where like the whole Alperen Şengün, like I was watching the ending of their games, and they were actually going to Şengün more than KD.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck.
I'm like, what? KD's a fucking top 10, arguably. I think he's gonna be, but he's arguably top 10 player. Like, why are you going to Şengün at the end of fucking games?
Yeah, I don't understand that.
So we'll see, man. The point guard spot for Houston is a little bit iffy. Reece Shepherd is a starting point guard. I just don't know when it comes down to playoffs. I just don't know if he's gonna be ready for the moment.
It's a stiff competition.
I like their surrounding pieces though. I like Jabari Smith Jr. I like Torrey Eason, Şengün obviously. Clint Capella is the starting center now. I like their pieces, but they are missing something, and I think it's that point guard spot.
Yeah.
I think Fred VanVleet is out for the season with the ACL. That could have helped, but
he was on the championship team, right?
Yeah, he was with Kawhi in Toronto. He got that ring. He did an episode with KD actually on his podcast.
Yeah.
Came out like a month or two ago. It's pretty interesting.
Check it out.
Another note: Jimmy Butler tore his ACL against the Heat. I believe it was sometime towards the middle of January. I mean, even before the ACL was torn, like Golden State was a fucking joke, bro. And again, I'm so disappointed in the talent that they put around Steph. Besides Jimmy and Dre, obviously. Dog, I'm never gonna get over. They gave away Clay for fucking Pajimski.
Yeah.
What are they doing, bro?
Dynasty in decline, like Steve Kerr said, man. That's really what they are. It's
And you
This is what happens if Jerry Krause didn't make a conscious effort to break the Bulls up before it got too late. This is what would have happened.
I mean, true. So kind of going back to the whole Giannis thing, did you see that moment that Draymond had at the podium when he was talking? It was after a game, and then the reporter asked him about his name being mentioned in rumors of trades, and Draymond was like, "Yeah, you saw that?"
Yeah.
And I think the trade was Draymond, Pajimski, Kuminga.
Yeah.
Was in that, and a couple of picks.
That's why the Bucks' best move was even to wait it out. That it was in the best interest of the Bucks to wait it out because, like, the Warriors would have won that trade. Come summertime, shit's gonna look different, man. I think the Bucks have more leverage come summertime.
Yeah, no. Brian Windhorst has been on ESPN just talking about the whole situation, and he said that now that the Bucks are gonna wait for the summer, like some teams are gonna have better offers. But he said Golden State, the offer that they had at the trade deadline is the best that they're going to offer. He said, I believe he said that the Heat are going to actually be able to add some more picks to the offer that they already gave out during the trade deadline. And during the trade deadline, speaking of the Heat, the offer that they had on the table for Giannis was Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, the expiring contract of Terry Rozier, another young player, which probably would have been maybe Jaquez. First round picks in 2030, 2032, and a possible first round pick swap in 26, 29, and 31. So it's very pick heavy, but the players, Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, Terry Rozier's expiring contract, and another young player, which could be Hami Hakaz or maybe Jovic. But if I'm the Heat, I'm doing it.
It's so risky to borrow against your future in such an extensive way. In that case, for a player who is shaking out to be a little bit injury prone, I mean, he's Giannis, but like we said earlier, not exactly a spring chicken either. And
yeah.
Did you just hear the list of picks that you listed off? Like,
yeah,
that's a lot of fuck. So it's not even about the players that they're dishing out that are on the team currently. I'm always weary of giving away that much.
Devil's advocate. What the fuck is the Miami Heat doing? Their team.
Yeah, fair.
That their team is if your team is based off of Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean that Tyler Hero thing I never quite understood. I know when we spoke about that, he had the one
his rookie year in the bubble.
Good year,
and then everything after that has been very mid.
Yeah.
So like if I'm the Heat, also with the John Morant, if I'm the Heat, I'm making that move because what are you doing? You're not doing anything right now. You're in the middle of the pack. Where are the Heat right now? I think the Heat are like right now the Miami Heat. They're in 8th place with a record of 29 and 27. What are you doing? And Tyler Hero's injured. He hasn't played a man long. Like
you think John Morant's going for real?
Yeah, I thought he definitely would have been moved by the trade deadline. Way more than Giannis. I thought he was gonna be moved.
He seems to have but then Jaren Jackson gets shipped. So I don't know if that was like an alternative because they were a little static there, right, between them two.
I don't know. I never heard of
Might be fake.
Fake news.
Fake news.
I don't know. But they shipped off Jaren Jackson. Who else did they ship off from Memphis? That was like he was kind of. Oh, Desmond Bain.
Yeah.
In the summer.
That was.
He went to Orlando. So that core, Ja's the only one remaining. So I think they're gonna do it in the summer. I think they're gonna trade him.
Yeah.
But speaking as far as Miami, I'm making the trade for Giannis, as what I just went over. I'm making that trade for Giannis, or I'm doing something with Ja, because Miami,
they need to shake it up.
They need to do something because they've been mad mid for mad long, and again, Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, I would try and keep Bam, but if I had to let him go, I would honestly do it. And Bam has always been one of those players for me where I'm frustrated because you could be like he's a tweener. He plays the 5 for Miami, but he's not really a 5. He's more like a 4, but he could also be like maybe a small forward. But like he has an advantage at 5 because he's quicker than most 5s, but he doesn't have the impact that I think he should have. So it's like it's a constant tug and pull with him.
Yeah.
I'm super frustrated with him. I'm like, yo, I'm done with you, bro. If I'm Miami, I'm shaking it up. So I'm giving up.
Yeah, and it's gonna get to a point where because like you said, they have been mid for so long. Like they're gonna have to do some shit where you really take a risk, you really put yourself out there. So
and there's been players that they took that are completely misses. Like they took Jovic. He's a fucking like 6'10" shooting guard or a small forward, but he can hit the 3. But he's been so non-existent. It's been disappointing actually. He just hasn't been what they expected. So he's been whack. Hami Hakez, I like him.
Yeah.
He's having I think this is the 3rd year. So he's having a good year. He had a sophomore slump, but he's having a better year. I would try and keep him. But other than Hami, I mean, I would try and keep Khalil Ware, but he's obviously in that rumored Giannis trade. If I have to give him up, I'll give him up, bro. So, that's as far. That was the note. I forgot how we got there from Jimmy Butler's ACL, but the last note that I had, Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Jersey retirement, man.
It's good, man. Nah, it's. I mean, that's always gonna be.
Oh man, I think that might be my biggest. Yeah. That might be my biggest what if.
Guy was a fucking generational talent.
I just want to talk about it a little bit because I feel like it was like a moment in like a weekend, and then obviously everybody's gonna go back talking about the season. But I want to give a little bit of highlight to Derrick Rose because if he was able to stay healthy, I think he definitely gets at least 1 ring, and I think LeBron doesn't. LeBron.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because they took Miami to 5. I mean, they lost in 5, so maybe that might be a argument. But they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2010 or 2011 to Miami in 5. But they had Joakim, they had Carlos Boozer, they had Lil Dang. I mean, Coach Tibbs was the fucking coach at that time, so maybe he might be part of the reason why his knee blew out. But if he was able to stay healthy with that core around him, I really think he would have got at least 1 ring.
I mean, it was a team. It was also, I mean, it was that era of the fucking big 3 too, but in terms of the East. But damn, there's just so many questions. It is kind of sad, even though I'm happy. The one good thing that at least Derrick Rose could hang his hat on is like everyone understands the magnitude of the player that he was, even with the injury. But at the same time, everyone's got the same what if. Like,
yeah, no, I mean, youngest MVP to ever win.
It's kind of sad, man. It is.
Youngest MVP to ever win, and I think it was in his 2nd year. We also got to talk about, like, he came back. Like, he still had respectful. He was a little bit of a journeyman. He played on Detroit, Cleveland, Minnesota.
He was solid on the Knicks, even.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of followed Thibodeau.
Yeah. Because
Thibodeau was the coach of Minnesota. Derrick Rose was on that team. Yeah. That's where Derrick Rose had his 50 ball.
Yeah.
Remember?
Right, I remember.
He had that. He was crying in the post game because he worked his ass off. So it's just. I just want to highlight it a little bit because it's just very commendable. Just about like what he was able to achieve with his injury-plagued career. And he's definitely in that what if conversation. Grant Hill, Yao Ming, Sam Bowie. Help me out. I'm missing like a big one.
Would you consider Penny?
Oh yeah. Penny, Greg Oden, Brandon Roy. Even though Brandon Roy played a little bit.
Greg Oden was one of those guys who came out the gate and everyone thought he was going to be.
Greg Oden?
The deal. Yeah. I remember that. What draft was that? What year was that? That was
2007. That was Cade's draft. Cade was 2nd. Yeah. I mean, because at that time, the NBA was still being built off of bigs.
Yeah.
That was like one of the last generations or whatever. To keep it in the East, there were some teams that we didn't talk about that could be a little bit of a threat. Philly, Orlando.
Yeah, Orlando. So
Orlando's been.
And a little update on that because Orlando, I still think that they're a nagging team, and
they're 7th right now with a record of 28 and 25. So
I had them as kind of like a sleeper or a team to watch in the East. But in watching them, there seems to be like something internal. I can't put my finger on it once again, but there's something else there, and I don't really know what it is. But it seems like something internal. I don't know if it's the chemistry or what's going on, but I don't know.
From what I've seen, there's a couple of points. So Jamal Mosley, again, the head coach. A lot of the talk around the league and the talking head shows is that Jamal Mosley is not. He's not maximizing the talent that he has.
Yeah.
Just his coaching style, his coaching schemes and all that. So that's one. Another thing, Jalen Suggs, from what I've seen personally with my own eyes, when I see him play, Jalen Suggs is like the energizer bunny for them.
Yeah.
Like, he is in every single play. He's the one hyping them up, but he could ball. So he's actually making good plays for Orlando. He's getting Paolo involved. He's getting Franz involved. He's like the connector of that team. Yeah. So that's the second thing. The third thing is Franz and Paolo, I feel like they're never able to play consistently. Franz, he had that ankle injury against the Knicks earlier in the season. Yeah. And then he was injured for like fucking weeks on end. He came back for like a game or two, and then he went injured again.
Right.
And okay, so that's the third thing. Paolo and Franz, it seemed like they could never be on the same timetable at the same time. The last point that I want to talk about is something that I've been hearing about a little bit recently. There's been a little talk about Paolo and like his style of play. That might be a concern.
Yeah.
Because he's a little bit of a ball stopper, and I don't know. I think this is his 4th season. I think he's the best player on the team, but they're 7th right now.
Yeah.
Like, with the talent, they just traded for Desmond Bane. They should be a little better. So I don't know. Out of those 4 points, I don't know which is like the biggest point as to why they're struggling. But
coaching.
But I do want to keep my eye on a little bit on Paolo because I don't watch a lot of Orlando Magic games. But with his talent, like I want to see, like, okay, maybe there's something you can adjust in your game.
Yeah.
I want to see if there's something to it, if there's merit to it. Philly, we didn't really talk about. We kind of mentioned them. But they're 6 spot, 30 and 24. And you mentioned Tyrese Maxey and VJ.
I don't know if I'd necessarily deem them a surprise, but maybe it's just Embiid's performance. Because in my mind, Embiid was already clocked out. Like I don't, you know, even though he's another one where he could ultimately turn out to be kind of a what if in his own right. But you know, I wasn't really looking at Philly like that. But yo, I can't sleep on that backcourt. And Embiid, like, you know, not to sound like a broken record, but Embiid's been fucking clicking too. Like, it feels like it's only a matter of time before you take the wrong step or whatever. Like, it's over. And if I was a Philly fan, I wouldn't be too ecstatic. Even though that backcourt, man, if they do, it's vicious, man.
No,
BJ Edgecombe.
And it seems like the chemistry is on point too.
Exactly.
I think it was in the Knicks game when they were warming up. They had each other's slam covers. Yeah. Tyrese had VJ's shirt on, and VJ had Tyrese's shirt on. So the chemistry between them looks like it's good. So that's a good thing. As far as Embiid, man, it's just you just can't count on it.
No, you can't.
And if he's able to actually play in the playoffs, that's just an added bonus. But you can't count on it.
No.
But speaking of Embiid, just looking at his last few games, his more recent game he played against Phoenix, he had 33 and 9.
Yeah.
The game prior to that, he had 35 and 7.
Yeah.
The game prior to that, he had 24 and 5. For the season, Embiid is averaging 26 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4 assists. He's averaging 9 field goals made on 18 field goals attempted, which is 49.5%. 1.3 three-pointers made on 3.9 3-points attempted, which is 32%. So, if Embiid is not in the playoffs because of health, and the Knicks meet them, we should definitely win. But
yeah, I'm not worried about Philly like that.
But I don't think it would be a 5-game series. I think it might. Because Kelly Oubre, Andre Drummond is the backup big. Dominic Barlow. They have nice pieces.
I could see it being 5. Bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could see it being 5. I think the Celtics and the Pistons are taking it more than 5 in a series with the Knicks, and I mean the Pistons would probably, at this point.
I got Knicks in 7 if we face off against Detroit, but I could also see Detroit winning.
Yeah, and I don't know. When it comes to the Sixers, I don't have that level of fear where I could see it being a 5-game series. But they have one thing I will say is in this iteration of the Knicks, like as a successful team, one of the biggest pests is Tyrese Maxey. When that dude starts to fucking click, 2024 when we beat them, and that was, for me personally, that was really when I put respect on Tyrese Maxey's name, where I was like, oh no.
Yeah, he came to the Garden and he wasn't scared, bro.
Not even a little bit.
No, we beat him in 6, right? Yeah, it was 6. But we were up 3-1. They came to the Garden.
Yep.
Tyrese Maxey, I think he had not a half court shot, but he had like a 3-pointer. And I'm not sure if it was to send it to overtime.
Just throwing him up that series.
But yeah, Maxey's a problem, bro. He's a problem. He's a lot more faster than Brunson, more athletic.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Philly's gonna be interesting if we see them in the playoffs. But I mean, the very, very last thing I think I want to say about just basketball, Detroit. One thing I think people aren't talking about, like, what if Detroit makes it to the finals and they go up against OKC? I think Detroit, it
would not fuck them up skill-wise, but they would.
I think they fare okay with OKC.
Yeah.
I think they fare okay with OKC. Jalen Duren would definitely be able to hold Chet. Jalen Duren might have a little bit of a hard time because Chet can spread the floor and take him out to the 3-point line, and Jalen is a little heavy-footed, a little bit. But look at the guards: Lou Dort, You got who do you got? Who do you got? Maybe you could put on Lou Dort. Lou Dort is a little bit of a bigger guard, but again, Detroit has dogs. They don't care about that. They're going to man up.
That's the thing with that team. That's really their defining characteristic is that, you know, that dog that they got. Like, even though obviously the talent is there, but it's that toughness. That's what pushes them, you know, past the threshold.
And Cade and SGA, that matchup, like SGA is a little bit, I think he's a little shorter than Cade, and he's a little smaller than Cade. Cade could definitely post him up a little bit, and beat him up, bruise him. I'm just saying, I just think they have the personnel to match up with OKC a little bit more competitively than people would give. If they match up with San Antonio, I think they'll be okay, but I think San Antonio might have their number. Just like San Antonio's young players, Dylan Harper.
Yeah, they're different.
They're different, bro.
I remember watching, like, really getting the opportunity to watch Harper this season. Bro.
He's a rookie, but he's a monster.
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes is that one spot that they have to upgrade. Maybe he might come through this year and he actually might help them win a chip or get to the finals. But if they're able to upgrade that spot, I mean, actually they can't do it because the trade deadline passed. But in the future, because he's up there in age, he's like mid-30s, so he's definitely not a part of the future. But if they're able, who they get for that spot moving forward is going to be very interesting.
If the Pistons beat the Thunder
in the finals, what?
Does Cade Cunningham deserve his sneaker?
That's funny. Link in the description. Go check that first episode out. I made a case. I don't think Cade deserves a sneaker as of yet. But yeah, no. If he gets that finals chip, 100%. 100% he deserves it.
That's fair.
100%. I still don't think he deserves it. He hasn't done enough. This year, I think he will prove it. I think he'll get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think that he could beat the Knicks or Boston or whoever in Cleveland. If they make it to the finals, we'll see.
Okay.
But I still think he doesn't deserve it. Cade, don't kill me in the comments, or Cade fans. All right, yo, that was our basketball episode. Mike, thank you so much. It was a long one, but it was a doozy. Catching up on Knicks basketball and the NBA in general. We're definitely gonna hit basketball again once the playoffs start, or even after the finals. I was thinking maybe, I don't know if we could do this schedule wise, but maybe we could do a pod after every Knicks playoff game. Maybe we could, once we get closer to it, we could talk about it.
We could link to watch the games.
That's what I'm saying.
And just do a fucking, what, a
30-minute pod about the game, yeah. That's what I was thinking. Watching the game together and then doing an episode after every game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or as much as possible.
Yeah.
As far as time flies, all the links in the description for all the socials. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Instagram, timeflies.1221. Everything else is timeflies1221. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. That'll be a really big help. If you follow me on all the socials, please comment on the post. Please like the post. I will definitely engage. I'm trying to get the numbers up. I'm trying to get a sponsor. I'm trying to get the NBA to sponsor this so Mike and I can go to the All-Star game, so we could cover games, so we could talk about players and live out our dreams, all that shit. But until next time, guys, thank you for checking out.
Follow me on OnlyFans.
What's your username on OnlyFans?
Hot Cuban Mommy.
I'm dead. Until next time, for Mike and I, we'll check you out on the next episode of the Time Flies podcast, guys. Peace.